Two people can walk into the exact same room, experience the exact same situation, and walk out with completely different stories. The difference between the two: perception. It's basically that invisible filter that you have on your eyes that really runs your entire life. Hey everyone, welcome to Start It's Your Time podcast. I'm really excited to have you here. I'm doing a solo episode this week. I am missing my partner in crime, Paula. I can't wait to resume next week to our regular programming. But for this week, it's just me, and we're talking about perception. So, perception is really that meaning that you're giving to your life, that you're giving to events happening in your life. It's this invisible lens, it's the filter that you have on. It really shapes the meaning of your life and what you see your life to be. And it can be really it can come from trauma, it can come from childhood, it can come from society. It really what shapes you, your beliefs, your values, and it's what you see the world to be. I'll give you an example. Two people can walk together on the street and they see a dog. One person is jumping with excitement. They're so excited to see that dog. They want to go pet the dog. They're like all over that dog. And the other person is scared shitless and runs across the street. The person that is super joyful grew up having dogs at her house or their house and is super familiar, comfortable around dogs. And the other one maybe was bit by a dog when she or he was a kid. So, two people experiencing the exact same situation, but interpreting the situation completely differently. This can happen in your careers. Maybe you don't get a job that you applied for, and maybe you're devastated. It's the end of your life. You're never going to do anything that's going to be meaningful or remarkable. You're not good enough. And that's what you tell yourself. The other person who doesn't get that job might be, you know what? Thank you, universe. That means that it wasn't in alignment, and something that's exactly meant for me is still out there and I can't wait to receive it. It's really what you choose. And the thing about perception is that I mentioned earlier, it's like a filter that you apply on your life, and you can change that filter. Just like you do on Instagram, just like you do anywhere, you can change that filter. The thing about this is that it's not being done overnight. You need to rewire your brain. There's so many things in my life where I had to rewire my brain. I was more of a glass half empty type of person. I was more of a victim mentality type of person. I was living with a lot of guilt, a lot of made up stories about my life, about myself. Um, and I had to change that. I had to change that filter in order to live a more happy, joyful, and fulfilling life. And so I started doing that work, and it wasn't done overnight. It's a lifelong process that you need to start immediately if you want to see the changes. So basically, I always mention this is that your perception, what you believe the world to be, is exactly that. Like, it becomes what you believe. And so when you start believing in something, you start expecting these things to confirm that belief that you have. And so you start living your life expecting certain things to happen, and then when they happen, it confirms your belief, and then it just gives it more power, and you get into this like cycle of like maybe going through life with so many difficulties when you could change that mindset, rewire your brain, and start really believing that life is beautiful and there's something beautiful in everything happening, and you can start um seeing life a little differently and feel a little lighter and more grateful for what you have. And so you can change that filter. You need to catch that thought. So when you're looking at something or you're experiencing a situation and your first thought is to be, oh, like, I'm not good enough, you need to catch it. You catch it, you accept that you've said that, you acknowledge it, but then you say, we're not saying that anymore. Maybe I'm not the best at this right now, but I'm gaining experience, I'm gaining knowledge, and I'm going to get better. Change that perception, change that filter on your life, because what's going to happen is that the more that you say it, the more that you change that sentence, the more that you change that thought and that dialogue that you have with yourself, you're going to start believing what you're telling yourself. And when you start believing what you're telling yourself, you're going to start acting differently. You're going to start showing up differently. You're going to speak differently. You're going to walk differently. When you start building that mindset of, I'm the glass half full type of person, I'm going to make positive out of this shitty situation. I'm going to find the silver lining. I'm going to make it something great. You're going to start showing up differently, and the people around you are going to feel that. They're going to see that. You're going to show up differently at work. You're going to show up differently in your friend circle. You're going to show up differently in your house. The energy that's going to be around you is going to be different. It's going to be more positive. It's going to be more inviting, welcoming, exciting. And when you breathe that new energy, when you're feeling differently and more positive and more vibrant, you're going to attract more of that in your life. We talked about the power of manifestation and how you need to have a good vibration, how you need to increase your vibration. You need to be happy and content and fulfilled and feel the love and the joy in order to get more of that in your life. Because when you're feeling high on life, you're so positive and that energy is so positive and impactful that you will attract good stuff in your life. Just try and remember of a time where you felt so good. You felt so high on life, so happy, so much love around you. What was happening? I'm pretty sure that things were like starting to happen more and more. Like you felt super good. You landed a job that you never thought you would. That gave you a boost. You started showing up differently at the gym. You started being more happy at home. Your partner started being more happy. Your like friends started like feeling all of a sudden more like positive and excited. Like it has a ripple effect on everything else in your life. So the way that you choose to see things, it's your responsibility. You're in control of that. You can choose to see something as very negative and unfortunate, and you can dwell on that, or you can be, you know what, there is absolutely nothing I can do about that specific situation. There's nothing I can do to change it, but I can choose how I see that situation and I can choose what I make of that situation. I lost someone very near and dear to my heart on the same day that we celebrated Amelia's second birthday. So on that same day, I lost someone that's really close to me and really important to me. And all I keep hearing is people saying like, "Oh, that's so unfortunate that it's on the same day. Like you're always going to remember this like sad moment." And you know what? For my own sanity and for my own peace of mind and for my own heart, I'm choosing to see that as something powerful. I'm choosing to see that loss as that person that I lost. She loved Amelia so much that she wanted to share that day with her. She wanted us to, when we're celebrating Amelia, she wanted us to be in a joyful space, to be in a joyful spirit and really embrace and enjoy celebrating life instead of like mourning and crying. And I'm choosing to believe that because that person was a positive influence in my life. That person was always being positive and finding the silver lining and was super loving and always caring. So I'm choosing to believe that that's what happened. I'm choosing to believe that. And so your perception will shape your reality. Start today. Start today. You don't, nobody deserves to live a life where they feel heavy all the time, where it's dark, where it's gloomy, where it's sad. Everyone deserves a life that is blissful, beautiful, happy, and joyful, and you get to create that. For as long as you believe that you're not in control of that, life will keep knocking you down. We always say that, JM and I, life will not get easier. You get better with time to deal with that stuff if you choose that you want to work on that toolkit of yours. And I strongly believe that over the years, the last 5 years, I've had many experiences in my life that someone else could be like, oof, I'm done. Like I'm throwing the towel, I'm quitting, this is not for me. But I'm getting better equipped every single day because I work on my mindset and I work on myself and I'm choosing to see that silver lining. I'm choosing to see the good in the life and in every experiences. I'm choosing to learn something. And that in return makes me more strong, makes me more powerful, makes me more adaptable to the world around me. So I want you to think about how you perceive your life right now, how you perceive your experiences, how you perceive your relationship. Maybe you're constantly, choosing a partner that is abusive because that's what you've been raised to believe that relationship should be. It should be something abusive because that's what you saw. And so your perception is that this is how it should be. And so I'm going to keep choosing partners that are going to confirm that belief that I have. But you know what? Maybe it just isn't that. Maybe you just need to make a different decision. Nobody deserves that. You deserve to be happy and fulfilled and in a loving, respectful relationship. You get to decide. You get to create your reality. You get to create your environment. And so you need to make that decision today to change that. That's what I wanted to share for today. Perception, so important. And start paying attention to how you're navigating your everyday experiences and how you're shaping your reality. And so thank you so much for being here. If you like the episode, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tag us. We love hearing your feedback. So please feel free to send us a message. And Paula and I will resume next week. Thank you for being here again. Thank you for working on yourself. And I'm just super proud of all of you. Bye, everyone.